Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 4 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 4, all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter. The lessons we're going to cover from the chapter are properties of multiplication, distributive property, find the missing factor, multiply using the distributive property, estimate products, multiply by one digit number, and estimate products, multiply by larger number. So we have already started the chapter multiplication. So today we're going to start with the lesson multiplication of properties. So all the options we're working on in mathematics like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, they have some properties, right? So today we're going to learn the properties of multiplication. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So let's just start lesson properties of multiplication. Here I am on grade 4 mathematics. The chapter we're working on is multiplication. So let's just start with the I'm going to write down the multi properties on the notebook. You can note on the board, you can note them down. So the first property of multiplication is commutative property. So what is commutative property? Commutative property is A times B equal B times A. Means in case of multiplication, order does not matter. Either you do 3 times 4 or you do 4 times 3. The answer is exactly same. So order of the number doesn't matter, right? 4 times 3 is 12 and 3 times 4 is 12. So that is the commutative property. In commutative property, you have two numbers involved, just their position is different. And when you multiply them, they have exactly same option. You can use any number you can try, right? 10 times 2 or either you do 2 times 10. The answer is 20. So that is the commutative property. Got it? The numbers on the both sides are same, just their order is different. So that would be the commutative property. The next one is the associative property. So in the associative property, we have the parentheses involved and three numbers are involved in the associative property, right? But why I am using, okay, associative property. So in associative property, three of the numbers are involved and also the parentheses A times B times C and A times B times C. So again the same thing. Just the order of multiplication, if you have same numbers on the both side and the order of multiplication is different, they have same answers. For example, you have 2 times 4 times 10 and hold on. Here you have 2 times 4 times 10. So just the order of multiplication is different. Here you have to do 2 times 4 first. So 2 times 4 is 8. And here you have to do 4 times 10 first. So 10 times 4 is 40. Then you have to multiply it by 2 on this side. And here you have 10. So 10 times 8 is 80 and 40 times 2 is 80. So this just the order of multiplication is different, but on the both sides are exactly same. So that would be the associative property. Got it? And the next one is, I think, the identity, the one you have to multiply. That is the zero property, right? Zero property. What is zero property? Zero property is if you multiply any number with zero, the answer is zero. No matter the number is, right? So whatever the number is, if you are multiplying the number with zero, the answer is always zero. Got it? So that is the zero property. These are the three properties. One more property for the multiplication, that is distributive property. Okay, 0 times a equals 0. So no matter what the number is, if you are multiplying the number with the 0, the answer is always 0. Okay, the other property of addition is distributive property. So what is distributive property? In distributive property, we have addition and multiplication. Two of the operations are involved. For example, it looks like this: a times b plus c. That is the distribution over addition. So what you have to do, you have to do a times, basically a is outside the bracket, right? That means a times b plus c equals a times b plus a times c. That is the distributive property. So these are the four basic properties we have to use with multiplication. So let's just start with the test questions. Keep these properties in your mind. Also, you can note them down on your notebook. So let's just start with the test questions. Okay, which equation shows the associative property of equation? So which is the correct option? Option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is 0 times 2 equals 0. Option 2 is 9 times 6 times 3 and 9 times 6 times 3. So which option is the correct one? Which option shows the associative property? Option 1 or option 2? Which is the correct option? Option number 2 is the correct option, because option 1 is the zero property, right? So option 2 is the correct option. In the associative property, we have the parentheses involved. On the both sides, you have the numbers are exactly same, just the order of operation is different, right? So option number 2 is the correct option. 2 is the associative property, not 1. Option 2 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is, which property of multiplication 0 times 9 minus 0 times 8 equals 0 times 9 minus 8? Think and then answer. Is it distributive property or zero property? Be careful. Just think and then answer. Which property is it? No, not the zero property. This is the distributive property. Just look at this side. You have 0 times fraction involved, right? So that is the distributive property. 0 also, but that is distributive property. When you multiply, the answer is 0, but the way they are written, this is the distributive property. Just think and then answer. Which equation shows the zero property of multiplication? Which option is the correct option? 2, 5 times 1 or 0 times 6 equals 0? Which is the correct option? Zero property means you are going to multiply the numbers with 0. So option number 2 is the correct option. 0 times 6 equals 0. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which property of multiplication is shown 5 equals 5 times 1? Which is the correct option? Is it zero property or identity? Zero property is means if you are multiplying a number with a 0, the answer is 0. Identity means if you are multiplying a number with 1, you have the number stays the same. So that would be the identity. The correct option is identity. Multiplying any number with 1 is identity because the number stays the same. Which property of multiplication is it, distributive or zero property? Which is the correct option? Which option is the correct one, zero or distributive? Very good. The correct option is option number one, that is the distributive property. Which equation shows the identity property of equation? So, which is the identity property? 2 equals 2 times 1 or 5 times 0 equals 0? Which is the correct option? Option number one is the correct option, right? 2 times 2 equals 2. That is the identity property. Which property of multiplication is shown? Is it commutative or 0? Which is the correct option? When I am explaining the lesson, why you cannot hear me carefully? When I am explaining the lesson, you are doing chit chat. When I ask question, you say I don't know. 9 times 5 equals 5 times 9. That is the commutative property. You can see my board. I have discussed all these before starting the lesson. Where were you when I'm explaining these properties? You can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just do next lesson. The next lesson is distributive property, find the missing factor. So we just discussed the distributive property. Let me just explain again. Now just listen to me carefully. I'm going to explain what is distributive property. So here is the distributive property. Distributive property, you have two of the operations are involved. One of them is multiplication, the other one is sometimes addition, sometimes subtraction, right? So you can apply distributive property to addition and subtraction as well. It would be like this: a times b plus c, parenthesis also involved. So a times b plus c equals, either you add b plus c and multiply with a, right? This means you need to add b plus c first and then you have to multiply with a. Or either you do a times b plus a times c. They both are exactly same. For example, you have 4 times 2 plus 1, right? So when you solve this side, 2 plus times 1 is 2 and 4 times 2 is 8, right? When you do this side, you have to do 4 times 2 plus you have to do 4 times 1 and you have to add, right? Sorry, that is 4 plus 1, 2 plus 1 3, and 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 1 is 4. So you need to add 8 plus 4 and 8 plus 4 is 12. So you can see both sides are exactly same. That is the distributive property. A times b plus c equals ab plus ac. That is the distributive property, right? So the three numbers on the both sides are same. A, b and c are same, right? Okay, let's just start with the lesson. You have to find the missing number. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. Okay, just understand the question. You will find the missing numbers very, very easily. To understand. Okay, 4 times c plus 4 times 2. The common number here is 4, right? That means 4 is the number that you have to, and 3 and 2 you can add them, right? So here you have 4. Got it? Because you can see 5 is the sum of 3 plus 2, isn't it? So the missing number is for sure 4. You can have one number common, that is the number you have to multiply with. So that is 4. Got it? So the missing number is, okay, the next one is use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. Okay, which number is missing? Think and then answer. Which number is missing? Very good. 5 is missing. How do you know? See, here you have the common number is 5, right? That is the number you are multiplying. And 3 plus 2 is also 5. You already have one 5. That means the number you are going to multiply with is 5. Got it? So that means it is 5. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. Okay, which number is missing? 5 times 3 plus 5 times 2 and 5 times 3 plus the missing number. So which number is missing? Very good. The missing number is 2, right? You can see here 5. That means these two have to be added. So that is 3 plus the missing number is 2. Okay, use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. So which number is missing? The missing number is 3. No, 4 is the common number, right? No, 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 no. That this isn't 3. You have just one option for the one number. You have the common number 4. 4 is already here. That means then here you have the sum of these two numbers, right? That would be then 5. Here you have the 5. Because you have just one number is missing, right? So the one number would be the sum of the other two numbers. That would be 3 plus 2 equals 5, isn't it? It is 5. The correct option is 5. Okay, use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. So which number is missing? The missing number is 4 is missing. Think and then answer. 2 is missing. You already have 4 here. 4 is common. You already have 4 here. You already have 3 here. So 2 is missing. Think and answer. Use the distributive of multiplication to find the missing number. So which number is missing? The missing number is 5. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. Which number is missing? 5 is missing. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. So which number? 5 is missing. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is multiply using the distributive property. Use the distributive property to multiply to find times 12. So you have to multiply 6 times 12. You have to use the distributive property to multiply. How do we multiply using distributive property, right? Just keep the distributive property in your mind. The distributive property is A times B plus C equals AB plus AC, right? Okay, you are given 12. Divide 12 into two numbers, right? 6 times, you can divide the 12 in the form sum of two numbers, right? That would be like any number that sums to 12, right? You can even 4 plus 8 is 12. Got it? So just apply the distributive property. 6 times 4 you have to do, and plus you have to do 6 times 8. So 6 times 4 is 28. 24 and 6 times 8 is 48. So when you add them, it would be 72. So either you do 12 times 6 is 72, but you have to apply the distributive property. So to apply distributive property, you have to divide 12 as the sum of two numbers, right? The question is you have to apply the distributive property and find the product, not right away. So it would be 72. The correct option is 72, right? You can have a hint. You can divide 12 as 2 plus 12, right? I did 7 plus 5, but still I have the same answer. So you can divide 12 as 6 plus 2. So the correct option is 72. Okay, the next one is use the property, distributive property of multiplying 6 times 14. And you are given the hint, you have to do 4 times 10. Nadia, are you okay? You are here to guess the movies. You are here to learn. I'm going to take screenshot and send it to your parents. You are here to learn, so just focus on the learning. 14 times 6 is, the correct option is 84. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find 6 times 30, correct option. The correct option, 13 times 6 is, the correct option is 78. Now whoever is going is sharing the usernames of the games and doing the chit chat here, I just send it to the administration. They will contact your parents. Of multiplication, 13 times 7. Now I'm tired of telling you all time. You are here to learn. You are here to learn, but you are here to chit chat so that your parents know what you are doing here. The correct option is 1 times 7 is 91. Question 9 times 11. Put the correct is 99. Use the multiplication 8 times 11. Write the answer. You can read messages when you write them once. Correct option is E. Use the distributive property to find 8 times 12 is. The correct option is 96. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find 6 times 11. 6 times 11 is. Very good, it is 66. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find 12 times 7, which is the correct option. Eighty-four it is. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is estimate products multiply by one digit numbers. So you have to estimate products. How do we estimate the products? Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, estimate the product. Round the first factor to the nearest 10 and then multiply. So in the question you are given, you have to round the first factor to the nearest 10. Here you have 58. So 58 is rounded to which 10? 50 or 60? 58 is rounded off to 60 and you have to do 60 times 9, right? 9 times 5 is 6 is 54. So that would be 540. Very good. 58 is rounded to 60. So the correct is 540. Got it? Okay, the next one is estimate the product. Round the second factor to the nearest 10 and then multiply. So which is the correct option? You have to round off 80. So 84 is rounded to 84 is rounded to 80. Got it? And the correct option is the correct option is 567 times 8 is 56. So that is 560. Okay, the next one is estimate the product. Round the first factor to the nearest and then multiply. So you round 59 to So 5 is rounded to 60, and 60 times 7 is 42. 428 is the correct option is. 59 is rounded to 60. How 50? Estimate the product. Round the first factor to the nearest 10 and then multiply. You have to round 22. 22 times 8 is 22 is rounded off to the correct option is very good 180. How? How 180? 22 is rounded off to 20 or 30. 22 is rounded off to 20 and it would be 160. The correct option is 160. Estimate the product. Round the first factor to the nearest 10 and then multiply. So, which is the correct option? The correct option is that would be 400. The correct option is 400. Okay, the next one is 6 times 67. So, which is the correct option? The correct option is 67 is rounded off to which 10? 60 or 70? Which is the correct option? The correct option is 67 is rounded off to 70. 700. 70 it is, and times 7 is 42. So the correct option is 420. Okay, the next one is 7 times 94. So the correct option. So 94 is rounded to 90, and 90 times 7 is the correct option is, yes, it is 630. So the correct option is option number 1 is the correct option. Why 465? You have to round off the number. Seventy-eight is rounded to 80, and 80 times 4 is 80 times 4 is 340. 80 times 4 is 320. The correct option is 320. Estimate the 3 times 64, which is the correct option. 64 is rounded to. That is 180 because 64 is rounded to 60. So the correct option is 180 it is. That is 640 is the correct. Now 2 times 3, which is the correct option. The correct option is 270. Estimate the product 32 times 90 9 equals. The correct option is 270. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself here today. So we were working on grade 4 math. The chapter we were working on is properties application. Sorry, the chapter we're working on is multiplication, and the lessons we have covered today are properties of multiplication, distributive property, find the missing factor, multiply using the distributive property, and estimate products multiply by one number. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. So if you have any question related to the lessons we just did, you can ask. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.